Hello and welcome to Take Time. I am your host Patrick Marlette, and let's talk about the channel. I started Take Time a little under 8 months ago, providing watch content here on YouTube right around the beginning of 2018. As watch collecting is a hobby I really enjoy and indulge in my personal life, and it was something I wanted to share with an audience to build a bigger conversation. Up until this point, I have been carving out a small section of my living room in my one-bedroom apartment here in New York to provide you guys with this content. And I know it's been bumming me out too. This space is very, very neutral and very boring, and I get it. So what I wanted to share today is that I'm moving. I'm moving very soon. The content should be coming out just as regularly as it has before. I'm getting underway. My schedule is a little crazy right now, but I'm getting underway to film out the rest of the content for August before me and Allie make our big move. If you follow my Instagram, you should know already, I'm actually moving out of my space here at the end of August, which is amazing. This is all good news, this update. It's all good news because we've been looking at apartments, things that have fit our budget, and I'm desperate to find a 2-bedroom for 2 reasons. One, it's going to allow me a secondary space that I can set up as a studio and dress up however I'd like, because it's not a shared room, so that we can have content in a proper space. But not only that, it's going to allow me to just leave everything up so that I can shoot consistently, more consistently, and get what I'd like to do, 3 episodes out a week, which I was trying for a good 2 months, and then it just became way too much, breaking down, resetting, and getting content out for you guys. So hopefully at the end of the month, me and Allie and our cat will have comfortably moved into a new space that's going to provide me the opportunity to shoot this content more regularly, but also some other content here on the tube. Some of you may know this already, but 2 years ago, roughly, God, has it been 2 years ago? A little under 2 years ago, I started 2 channels. I started a channel called Clock, Stock, and Barrel, and I started another channel called The Regulars. I'm looking to fire up The Regulars again, which is a board and card game based channel. So if that's something you enjoy, find The Regulars. That's where I do all of that stuff. As soon as it goes back up, of course, I'll let you guys know. If you want to follow me over there, it's much more lighthearted and it's not about watches, but if you enjoy that kind of entertainment, well, I think you'll enjoy that channel. I put that on hiatus so I could focus on this. This was something I was just more actively engaged with. I still play board and card games off to the side with my friends, but it's very hard to get groups of 3 to 4 people on camera for 3 or 4 hours at a time to film things. It's difficult, but I'd love to get back to that. This is much easier, just me and a bunch of watches. So come September, you'll be seeing Take Time filmed in a brand new space. And of course, I'm going to chronicle that journey over on Instagram. I intend to build the studio from the ground up. I do a little bit of handiwork, and I like to build most of the setting for the channel and of course other future projects. So if you want to follow along, I'll suggest you join me over on Instagram. I know this space has bugged people for a long time. Do expect a change of scenery very soon. But moving forward, I'd like to continue with much the same content. Obviously, the titular segments for this show are the Take Time interview segments, Take Time with Notice being our last one. I love doing interview segments for the show. They provide a very interesting creative challenge for me every time I meet with someone, because I don't have the budget to buy out, studio spaces or rent out restaurant venues to share these interviews, sort of run and gun every time. But I really love doing those. I wish they got more traction than they do. It's just tough with micro brands, unfortunately. But I want to continue pressing with micro brands because there's a few out there that do make a good product, and I love sharing that product with you. Of course, watches under $1,000, that's sort of my budget range, and I feel like that's a friendly range for most consumers. So things that are immediately accessible. If I can get a Nautilus on the show, a Patek Nautilus, of course I'll talk about it, but for the most part, expect content like that. Interviews, more discussion segments. I'd love to do more cocktail time. That was a joy for me to shoot. I really like long form discussion. That's sort of what I watch when I go on YouTube. But if you enjoyed cocktail time, let me know if you want to see more of that. If you like the interview segments, let me know if you want to see more of that. Of course, they're not easy to set up. It depends on who I'm trying to work with, but hopefully we can shoot more of that in the future. For those that have been proactive about sending watches to the channel, and I don't mean brands, I mean private owners that have sent their own watches my way so that they could be reviewed here and shared with you guys, thank you so much for valuing my opinion enough to do that. I really, really appreciate you guys sending your watches in. If you were continuing sending stuff to my P.O. box, please stop, because I'm not going to be using that address anymore. As soon as I get a new address, of course, I'll let you know. If you want to send something into the channel, you're more than welcome to. I'm not encouraging it. My email has always been in my About section. But yeah, that's how folks have reached out to me before. Thank you so much for getting in touch with me to send me products, guys. I really appreciate it. Now, lastly, the thing I'd like to discuss most for Take Time are meetups. A lot of folks have been asking me over on Instagram, and a few folks over here that live in the New York City area, if I'd be willing to do meetups, and the answer is yes, of course, I'd love to do meetups. I just need to figure out the best way to manage that. Bi-monthly meetups would be fantastic. Of course, the numbers would have to be smaller depending on the venue. There's just a lot of variables that I haven't worked out the kinks for. I did record a small get-together that was arranged by Notice recently. You might have watched the recap here on the channel. That is more or less what I'd like to recreate with all future meetups. I don't want to spring up on the restaurant that I'm going to be filming in their location. I'd like for them to know, and I'd love to get to meet you guys and share your collections on the channel. I would like to arrange and film meetups to share your personal collection. Now, plenty of channels do watch collection reviews. I've had a few people ask me to do that. It's very, very boring. I would never want to do that. However, I would love to hear someone discuss the choices they made in building their own collection. Now, while it's fantastic to hear billionaires talk about their 18 Rolex Daytonas, I'd rather talk to an individual who spent 3 years saving money to buy one watch and why he made that decision, he or she. That's right, this is an all-inclusive community. I think I have a 2% female viewing audience, but if you're one of the individuals that wanted to come to a watch meetup, I'd love to talk about your collection. To me, that's just more interesting than hearing about $2 million watch collection. So to the question of whether or not I'd like to do meetups, yes. The thing is, I'm just bad at organizing them. But one step further, I'd love to film them and share your collections with a global audience. Again, to me, that sounds very appealing and is something I'm very interested in doing. So more interviews, more reviews, more discussions, more sketches. When I have the time to shoot sketches on the channel, I'd love to do more of those. That is extremely fun for me. But lastly, more giveaways. So at the beginning of September, I know we lacked a giveaway this month. That's because Patrick needs to give back a little to himself, okay? It's just a crazy move month. Moving sucks. But beginning of September, I have watches to give away. I have some mystery watches. Of course, I'll talk about those come September, but you can expect a giveaway here on YouTube this go around for a new watch. As a matter of fact, I have a giveaway for the next month that is also another watch. So when brands send me product, it's great because I get to keep them and do whatever I want with them. I love sharing them with you guys. So beyond the straps and all the other stuff I've featured on the show, I'd like to give away more watches. So we're going to start that trend September. I don't know if I can be consistent with that every month, but hopefully you come here for the content and not free stuff. I guess my viewership in August will let me know, but that is what you can come to expect on the show. So be on the lookout for the giveaway come September. Anyways, wish me luck on the move. Of course, you can expect more content regularly throughout the month of August. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about in particular, I know plenty of you want to hear a follow-up review on the Helson in stainless steel. If you guys don't know this already, I bought a stainless steel Helson in black, or rather black dial. Also, I know some people want me to talk about the Kinetic series, the AGS line. Those that follow me on Instagram, I've been plugging one of my AGS watches quite a bit over there. And I know a lot of people want to hear me talk about this Grand Seiko. So I'm still filming up content for the rest of this month. If you let me know what you'd like to see on this channel, because I love taking in your opinions, maybe I'll film something around that. Really, you guys play a bigger part than you know in driving the content here. Obviously, I would prefer to shoot stuff you want to see. So let me know. This is that opportunity. This video, let me know what you'd like to see more of on the channel. And of course, I'll try to provide that for you. Be well, take timers. Thank you for the time. Of course, if you want to hear how my move is going, you can comment in the comment section down below here or message me over on Instagram. I've been in this building for 4 years. The move is so needed. This has been my home for a long time, but I'm very excited to move on to a bigger space. At any rate, take care, and I will talk to you on the next one.